Good evening and welcome to the show. We're so glad to have you back with us. I have a very exciting show for you this evening, and I hope you enjoy every second of it. I'm going to have the same guests on throughout all 4 sessions. And the reason for that was I had the high school principal scheduled to come out and talk to you about some of the things that are going on at Pahrump Valley High School, and she's ill, so we'll have to reschedule her, but we hope that she gets better. There's a lot of things going on at the high school, and you just need to be aware of what our students are learning, some of the things they're going through, some of the programs she's bringing in. She's a fantastic principal, and again, we wish her well. But tonight, I have Chief Warrant Officer 5, Dan Peterson. He's also the commander of the Military Order of the Purple Heart over in Henderson, Nevada. And we're going to be talking about that and quite a few other things. So there's a lot to cover this evening. If anybody is out there that have received the Purple Heart and would be interested in becoming a member of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, of course, you're going to want to write down Dan's number so you can contact him and say, look, I'd like to be a member. But there's so many other things that the Military Order of the Purple Heart is doing, veteran organization, and we're going to cover so much of that. And so hopefully you're going to learn so much this evening, and you're going to be excited about everything that you hear. So first thing I want to do is welcome our guests and say, Dan.
Tom, thank you for
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay. And is this your first time in Pahrump?
No, it's probably my 4th.
Okay, 4th time. So what brought you to Pahrump the first time?
Well, it's been almost a year ago. Actually, you as a member of our Chapter 730 approached me about having Nye County and the town of Pahrump becoming Purple Heart entities.
Yes.
And so I took that challenge on and got the necessary paperwork to facilitate that. And then on which has almost been a year, October 17th.
October 17th, 2017, that's right.
We came down and had a ceremony for Pahrump become the first Purple Heart town in Nevada, and Nye County become the first Purple Heart county in Nevada, excuse me. And then we presented a flag and some plaques and things to the council.
The commissioners.
Yeah.
And all 5 commissioners voted unanimously to accept this honor. And we're so proud of our commissioners. I like to say that over and over because our commissioners have supported us 100%.
And I saw your signs coming into town today.
Outstanding. Now, what signs are we talking about? And
the first one I saw was Nye County, and then the second one was Pahrump being the first town.
Okay, I'm going to hope that our engineer can put that up on the screen so people can see. When you come in, you see Nye County sign. Mm-hmm. And no matter where you are, when you approach Nye County, you'll see that county sign.
Yes.
And so this is recognition that we owe to the fact that Dan came all the way over from Henderson to support that for us. And we really appreciate that. As he stated, Nye is the first county in the state of Nevada to receive that honor.
That's correct.
And now we have one other county.
After your ceremony here in last October, we were able to facilitate Boulder City to become a Purple Heart City.
Okay.
And then while I was here on August 7th doing the sundown ceremony for Purple Heart Day, the town of Las Vegas, or actually I should say the Council for Clark County, facilitated Clark County to be the second Purple Heart County in Nevada.
Okay, so Clark County is following us.
Correct.
Oh, this is great. We always knew we were important, so now we know we're still number 1, and we'll stay number 1. But the signs and, like I said, anybody, no matter where you come into Nye County, from all the different areas, the sign is there to show the Nye County line. And when you come into Pahrump, then the sign is there to show town of Pahrump as a Nye County entity as well. So again, we owe it all to Chapter 730 in Henderson. And so I have to ask the question, and some people may ask, why don't we have a military order, the Purple Heart chapter here And is that the only way we could become a Purple Heart town and county?
The requirement to have a chapter, you basically have to have 5 officers.
Okay.
And that's usually the most difficult thing, is to find people that are willing to work free, volunteer their time, and then obviously setting up your chapter bylaws, and then facilitating compliance with the department, which is Nevada, and then also national. So it's quite a challenge. I have 100 members, and probably a little 110 now, but there's really only about 20 of us that work on a daily basis to keep the chapter going. So.
Okay. That's always the way it is, no matter what organization it is.
So I think in this case it was easier for us to help you have those entities become Purple Heart town and county. Yeah.
So the sponsorship came from Henderson and Chapter 730, and that's how we became a Purple Heart town and Purple Heart County.
Right.
If it had not been for Dan coming over and saying exactly what he was willing to do for us, it's something that could have never happened. We don't have a chapter, Military Order of the Purple Heart chapter here, but many of our members, our Purple Heart recipients here in Pahrump and Nye County, are members of Chapter 730. And that's the reason we know each other. That's the reason we invited him over to be our guest speaker at the last one, and he was also a speaker at the first one we had.
Right.
So he's looking at this and he's seeing all the support that we have for veterans in Nye County, and he wanted to do something to help us.
Right.
And we really, really appreciate it. I know everybody watching appreciates exactly what you've done for us.
I've gotten a lot of good responses from people who live here, not all Purple Heart recipients,
Okay.
but saying, thank you for, and even the sundown ceremony, I had a lot of people approach me afterward thanking us for doing that for the county and the town, and then taking time to come down on Purple Heart Day.
I'm going to say too, and I don't know if our county commissioners are watching, but I want you to know just how important your vote was on that day back last year. So important. And again, we just want to thank our commissioners for being so responsive to everything the veterans have asked of them, and full support. So thank you. And thank all the support from our citizens, our residents. You've supported us as well. So thanks to each one of you. And now Pahrump is the first Purple Heart town because we're one of those large unincorporated areas. So, but we have some cities that are Purple Heart entities. What are they?
Oh, down here you have North Las Vegas,
Okay.
Vegas, well, Henderson, of course. Henderson was the first Purple Heart city in Nevada. You got Boulder City and Mesquite.
Okay.
And then there's some up north in Reno. The Reno area has one. Reno itself is a Purple Heart.
As a matter of fact, when we talked about the sign for the Nye County sign, when we were selecting that, and they got in touch with me and asked me what the sign should look like, so they did give me the honor of selecting the sign. So I'm very pleased with that as well. And now in other parts of Nevada, the Purple Heart entities are looking at using that same sign.
Yeah, those have gone to North Las Vegas, and Henderson, and Boulder City because they're all the Department of Transportation.
Right.
So there should be no reason why they can't duplicate those signs. So.
And they said they're willing to do that.
Yep.
So we'll have them up in Reno. We'll have them wherever there's a Purple Heart entity.
Yep.
So Pahrump, Nye County, we were first on it, but the rest of the state is looking at us as the leaders in this. And not only that, but I also heard from Arizona that Arizona is looking at it and saying, why aren't we doing the same thing? So this may expand all the way across the country, and it all started right here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, history makers.
Exactly.
Okay. What else is going on with Military Order of the Purple Heart?
The current thing is the Highway 11 that is being constructed through Las Vegas, Henderson, and across the new bridge into Arizona.
That's the interstate.
Interstate 11.
Okay.
There's a bill being brought before this year to Nevada to make that a Purple Heart highway.
Oh, okay.
And then the next big thing is Governor Sandoval has an executive order. We're just waiting any day for him to sign, having each Nevada facility with a Purple Heart parking sign.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was at one of our commissioner meetings and the chairman, John Koenig, he just made the statement that I would like to see Purple Heart parking signs. Since we're Purple Heart County, I'd like to see Purple Heart parking signs around our facility. And I just happened to have picked up 2 from Henderson. And he wanted 2 signs. I raised my hand and said, I've got 2 in my car. And he was very surprised about that. So I passed on the 2 parking signs, and they were put up that same day. Wow. That's how responsive our commissioners are.
And I gave you 3 more today.
And I received 3 more today, so if you know anybody else out there that wants a Purple Heart parking sign at their business, just get in touch with me. You can do that through the station, or most people have my phone number anyway.
Yeah, we're finding it a little bit easier to get the signs. There was a problem for a long time, but they come from the Wounded Warriors Foundation.
Okay.
And the Purple Heart National is part of sponsorship on there, and so we were able to just recently get 10 more signs. So.
Okay, you know, we have these signs all around Pahrump. I'm sure we have them throughout Nye County, but around Pahrump, whether you go to Home Depot or whether you go to the hospital, whether you go to the VA clinic, and you'll see these signs. And now over at Nye County, the commissioner's area, you'll see the signs over there as well. And the signs, when they're with the handicap sign, it does not just mean Purple Heart. It means Purple Heart and handicapped.
Right.
But if it's only the Purple Heart sign, then it's just for a Purple Heart recipient. And any recipient then could use that parking space.
Right now throughout the state, which doesn't seem like a lot, there's 76 spots designated for Purple Heart at various locations. And hopefully that list will grow.
It will definitely grow. We know that. And we're running out of time for session 1, but we want you to come back and join us for the next 3 sessions.